U.S. attack.
Destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity.
The latest on the aftermath of the U.S. military bombing Iran. A dangerous incident.
They were screaming, "Help! Somebody's been struck."
That left one Florida man in the hospital. And a sneak peek.
Unruly, it's crazy.
Into a heist. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm David Lascano.
And I'm Julian Lescano. Today is Monday, June 23rd, 2025.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Midnight strike. The United States attacks 3 Iranian nuclear facilities over the weekend. Top administration officials insist that the U.S. is not at war with Iran, but President Donald Trump has warned the U.S. could launch more attacks if Tehran does not make peace with Israel.
As CNN Julia Benbrook reports, the president suggests yesterday that a regime change would be possible in the country.
President Donald Trump announced that the United States attacked 3 key nuclear facilities in Iran.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror.
During his White House address following Operation Midnight Hammer, with Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth standing behind him, Trump warned that the U.S. could launch more strikes.
If peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill.
While the president says Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been, quote, completely and totally obliterated, a full impact assessment is still ongoing.
Final battle damage will take some time, but initial battle damage assessments indicate that all 3 sites sustained extremely severe damage and destruction.
Trump's senior officials have repeatedly said the mission was not about a regime change in Iran. But in a post Sunday evening, Trump alluded to the possibility, writing, quote, "It's not politically correct to use the term regime change, but if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change?" Also on Sunday, the United Nations Security Council met for an emergency meeting to discuss the escalating situation in the Middle East. Part of the council's stated goal is to maintain international peace and security. A UN source tells CNN that Iran requested that meeting. Reporting at the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Bad news for anyone traveling overseas. A worldwide alert is in effect after the U.S. attack on 3 nuclear facilities in Iran. The State Department advises anyone traveling overseas to take caution as the conflict between Israel and Iran has interrupted air travel across the Middle East. The Department of Homeland Security warns of potential cyber attacks in the United States.
The Senate is expected to hold a test vote this week for President Trump's domestic policy bill. The big beautiful bill, as the president has dubbed it, would extend tax cuts and provide more money for defensive and border security. The plan would also affect federal spending and changes to Medicaid.
Switching gears now, Panthers parade as Cat fans take over the Fort Lauderdale beach. The parade yesterday was to celebrate the Panthers' most recent Stanley Cup championship. It was the 2nd straight-up cup after winning last year. One fan even used the occasion to follow up a championship ring with an engagement ring.
I surprised her 2 days ago, did a whole date day of all our first date places. I went around and I got down on one knee and popped the question, gave her the ring, and here we are.
Speaking of hardware, the real Stanley Cup wasn't the only trophy in attendance, as fans brought everything from authentic replicas to the aluminum foil homemade kind, even one that looks like a Blizzard Cup. Everyone in here is hoping to be back out at the beach after the next season.
And at least 3 people struck by lightning at a Central Florida beach. West 2 News' Haley Crumbleholm brings us the story.
A calm day at the beach turned to chaos in an instant Friday afternoon.
I saw a lightning strike on the beach.
It was the most crackling electrical hit you could imagine. I mean, fierce.
It was pretty terrifying.
According to Volusia County Beach Safety, they say a 29-year-old man from Colorado was struck by lightning around 12:30 Friday afternoon. And they say he wasn't far from shore at all. He was only in about ankle-deep water.
Then I heard help, and they were screaming, "Help! Somebody's been struck."
Another man said he saw what happened from out on his surfboard.
And that guy was what I could tell was in the water, and somebody tried to drag him out, and then they got help, and the next thing you know, the lifeguards here and paramedics and everybody.
You could see first responders arriving on the beach to help in these shots from our tower camera.
He was pretty far away, but I knew it was bad because they started chest compressions immediately.
Volusia County Beach Safety says a nurse who was nearby when it happened was the first to start CPR.
Bystanders rushed to his aid, pulled him up to water's edge. There was someone on scene that initiated CPR while the lifeguard nearby was over 300 feet away, was notified.
The man was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The lightning caught a number of people we talked to on the beach by surprise.
It was clear blue sky and the storm was like miles away from us.
You can see on West 2's first warning radar, the lightning strike at the beach was about 4 miles away from the actual storm. Volusia County Beach Safety said this strike is what they call a blue sky lightning strike.
The National Weather Service states that strikes can happen up to 20 miles outside. I mean, that's very far outside the leading edge of a storm.
The 29-year-old man wasn't the only person struck in New Smyrna Beach Friday. 2 others were indirectly struck by lightning while golfing at the Venetian Bay Golf Course, according to the city. Neither of those people had to be taken to the hospital. Covering Volusia County and New Smyrna Beach, Haley Crumbleholm, West 2 News.
An active shooter shot and killed inside a church. It was yesterday near Detroit after police responded to reports of an active shooter at Cross Point Community Church. They had learned that he had been shot by the security guard. Some of the attendees hid in the bathroom stalls and a nearby grove of trees. Everyone was able to exit the building safely. The identity of the suspect still remains unknown.
Pictures that are out of this world.
And out of this universe. That's still ahead, and so is the story.
Deputies discovered that 2,810 Nintendo Switch 2 consoles were taken from the back of the truck.
An investigation into a costly heist. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes.
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Go, get one. Another satisfied customer. Stop by PantherTech in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Looking into stolen switches worth millions. A Colorado investigation continues looking for a costly heist of over $1 million worth of Nintendo Switch consoles being stolen.
CBS News Colorado's Ashley Portillo has more on the story.
On June 8th, a high-dollar cargo heist of Nintendo Switch 2s found at this Love's truck stop in Bennett.
Unruly, it's crazy.
It happened just 3 days after the gaming consoles were released.
Deputies discovered that 2,810 Nintendo Switch 2 consoles were taken from the back of the truck.
The semi-truck driver was doing a pre-trip inspection when he noticed his trailer was broken into. Several pallets of the Switch 2s gone.
So these consoles retail for about $499. This is well over $1 million in inventory lost.
Stuff like this hurts it, of course, for sure, when 3,000 units get picked up.
The new consoles are expected to be in short supply globally because of high demand. Ryan Barth with Level 7 Games says the systems have already been hard to get a hold of.
We haven't been able to get any in to like this store or any of the Level 7s. As a matter of fact, we've been having a really hard time just ordering them.
Barth added stolen consoles will likely be sold online or somewhere that doesn't require documentation, but it'll still be difficult to know if you've bought a stolen item.
Yeah, unless Nintendo comes out with all of those numbers that shows what numbers to be on the lookout for and what numbers not to buy, it's super hard.
Investigators now looking into if the crime happened in Bennett or in another city along the truck's route.
Through the investigation, we determined that it happened in a different location. We'll obviously work with the correct jurisdictions on this investigation.
Ashley Portillo, covering Colorado First.
And these newly released images of space are from the largest camera ever built. The camera from the Vera C. Rubin Observatory offers an unprecedented look at light from millions of stars and galaxies from over 10 hours of observation. Rubin's website says its mission is to create a time-lapse record of the universe for over a period of 10 years. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
Black truck. Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
To reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Bill is a family man. He invests his money wisely and provides a good life for his children. Just one problem. He often opens emails from senders he doesn't know, and his computer is not password protected. One day, Bill checked his bank account and 94% of malware attacks originate from emails. Don't be like Bill. Take your cybersecurity seriously.
And that's all the time we have for Newsbreak. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Julian Lascano.
And I'm David Lascano. Get more news at any time at caplinnews.fiu.edu.